Sadly, the world of My 600-Pound Life has been rocked by tragedy time and time again, as several cast members who once fought bravely for a second chance at life have met devastating ends. Some participants suffered fatal health complications despite their hard-earned progress, while others struggled with emotional pain so deep that their battles ended in heartbreak. These are the My 600 LB Life stars, who died tragically, leaving fans stunned and mourning their loss. Laura Ann Perez. When viewers first met Laura, she weighed close to 600 pounds and was struggling with the immense physical and emotional toll of extreme obesity. Her weight severely limited her mobility, independence, and overall quality of life. She knew she had to make a drastic change if she wanted to live, so she sought help from renowned bariatric surgeon Dr. Nauzaradan. Unlike some participants who struggled to stick to Dr. Nau's strict diet and exercise regimen, Laura showed great determination from the beginning. She worked hard to lose enough weight to qualify for gastrectomy surgery, a major step toward reclaiming her health. The procedure helped her reduce her food intake and continue on her weight loss journey. However, losing such a significant amount of weight was not an easy process. It required not only physical effort, but also deep emotional and psychological work to break free from the habits that had contributed to her weight gain in the first place. By the time her Where Are They Now? Episode aired, Laura had made astonishing progress. She had dropped over 300 pounds, an incredible 50% of her peak weight. This transformation allowed her to regain mobility, independence, and the ability to enjoy life in ways she had never thought possible. She was living her best life, embracing her newfound freedom, and looking forward to the future. Her success story was one that inspired many viewers, proving that with dedication and perseverance, true change was possible. That's why the news of Laura's death in November 2021 came as such a devastating shock to fans and well-wishers. She had come so far, overcoming immense obstacles to achieve a healthier life. Yet her journey was cut short far too soon. While the details surrounding her passing remain unclear, her untimely death serves as a stark reminder of the long-term health risks associated with extreme obesity, even after significant weight loss. Henry Foots. Over the course of 7 years, Henry lost an astonishing 440 pounds, transforming his life in ways many could only dream of. However, his journey was far from smooth. Along the way, he faced immense personal and physical challenges that tested his resolve, making his transformation all the more inspiring. One of the first major setbacks Henry encountered was the loss of his father, a devastating blow that left him emotionally vulnerable. At the same time, he lost a job that was important to him, adding financial and psychological stress to an already difficult weight loss journey. Despite these hardships, Henry remained committed to shedding the weight and reclaiming his life. He underwent multiple surgeries to remove excess skin, a common procedure for those who experience significant weight loss. However, even this step toward better health was fraught with danger. During one of these operations, Henry suffered a terrifying medical emergency. His heart stopped on the operating table. Miraculously, doctors were able to resuscitate him, and he survived the ordeal. But fate continued to test Henry. In November 2012, he suffered a mysterious medical incident while driving a commercial shuttle bus. He lost consciousness at the wheel, causing the vehicle to veer off course and collide with an SUV at an intersection. Tragically, this accident resulted in the death of an innocent bystander, leaving a devastating impact on multiple lives. Although Henry survived the crash, his health continued to decline in the months that followed. Less than a year after the accident, in May 2013, Henry Foots passed away at the age of 54. No official cause of death was ever released, leaving some mystery surrounding his final days. Despite the many obstacles he faced, Henry's story remains one of determination, resilience, and the pursuit of a better life. James King. When James King first appeared in Season 5, He weighed approximately 790 pounds, making him one of the heaviest participants to seek help from Dr. Nazaridan. His weight had led to severe health complications, including high blood pressure, diabetes, and mobility issues that left him almost entirely bedridden. James was desperate for a second chance at life, but his journey proved to be filled with obstacles that ultimately led to a tragic ending. Unlike many other patients on the show who were able to make progress through sheer determination and discipline, James struggled to follow Dr. Now's strict weight loss plan. His biggest challenge stemmed from his eating habits and his dependency on his family, particularly his wife, Lisa. While Dr. Now gave James clear instructions on how to lose weight in preparation for bariatric surgery, James continuously failed to meet the necessary goals. Instead of shedding pounds, he gained even more weight during the process, frustrating Dr. Now and raising concerns about his overall well-being. Things took a serious turn when Dr. Now suspected that James's wife was enabling his unhealthy lifestyle. Despite the medical team's efforts to control James's diet while he was hospitalized, he continued gaining weight, leading Dr. Now to believe that Lisa was sneaking him food against medical advice. The situation became so dire that Dr. Now felt compelled to call Adult Protective Services, APS, to investigate whether Lisa's actions were contributing to James's declining health. While this was an extreme measure, it underscored the severity of James's situation and the destructive cycle that prevented him from making progress. As time went on, James's health deteriorated rapidly. His extreme obesity took a toll on his organs, and he developed severe complications, including infections and kidney problems. In April 2020, at just 49 years old, James went into septic shock and died of kidney failure. His passing was yet another tragic reminder of the consequences of extreme obesity and the importance of breaking free from enabling relationships. Robert Buchel. In the first 5 months of his weight loss journey, Robert lost an astounding 340 pounds. His rapid progress was remarkable, showcasing his dedication and willingness to follow Dr. Now's strict diet and exercise regimen. His hard work even earned him approval for weight loss surgery, marking a major milestone on his road to recovery. With such a promising transformation, many believed that Robert was on his way to a new chapter in life, one where he could regain his independence and escape the limitations his weight had placed upon him. However, beneath the surface, Robert was facing another battle, one that would ultimately lead to his untimely death. As he lost weight, he underwent medical procedures to remove lymphedema masses from his body. These procedures, while necessary, caused him significant pain. To cope, he was prescribed painkillers, and over time, he developed a dangerous dependency on them. His reliance on pain medication began to overshadow his progress, and he started struggling emotionally. He became increasingly withdrawn and expressed feelings of hopelessness, worrying his loved ones and medical professionals. Tragically, in November 2017, Robert suffered a fatal heart attack while still in the middle of his weight loss journey. He became the first participant in the show's history to pass away during filming. His fiancée, Catherine, was devastated, as she had been by his side throughout his journey, supporting him in every way possible. She later revealed that Robert had expressed feelings of despair and even resistance to continuing his weight loss journey in his final days, indicating that his struggles ran deeper than just his physical health. Lisa Fleming. When Lisa Fleming sought the help of Dr. Nazaridan, she weighed over 700 pounds and was completely bedridden, unable to move on her own. Her condition had deteriorated so severely that she required 7 paramedics just to lift her out of her house, a moment that shocked viewers and underscored the severity of her obesity-related health issues. Lisa's story was a stark reminder of how extreme weight gain can rob someone of their independence and quality of life. Lisa's battle with obesity had deep roots, stemming from childhood trauma and unhealthy eating habits that worsened over time. She had long struggled with weight issues, and by the time she appeared on My 600-Pound Life, she had reached a point where even basic daily tasks were impossible without assistance. Her dependence on others, combined with the emotional toll of being confined to bed, only fueled a cycle of despair and overeating. Despite her dire condition, Lisa was determined to make a change. Under Dr. Now's guidance, she was placed on a strict diet designed to help her lose enough weight to qualify for bariatric surgery. With medical supervision, she successfully dropped 200 pounds and underwent the life-changing procedure. However, Lisa's struggles didn't end there. While she initially showed some progress, she found it difficult to continue losing weight without the controlled environment of a hospital. Once back home, she struggled to maintain the dietary and lifestyle changes necessary for long-term success. Throughout her journey, Lisa faced multiple health complications, many of which had developed long before she sought medical help. Her daughter, Danielle, stood by her side, hoping she would turn things around, but Lisa's body had already suffered extensive damage due to years of obesity-related illnesses. In August 2018, just months after her appearance on the show, Lisa passed away at the age of 50. According to Danielle, her mother succumbed to multiple illnesses that had plagued her even before seeking help from Dr. Now. Her death was a heartbreaking reminder of the irreversible damage that extreme obesity can cause, even when efforts are made to reverse it. Shawn Milliken. Shawn Milliken weighed over 900 pounds, making him one of the heaviest individuals ever featured. His battle with extreme obesity had left him almost entirely bedridden, dependent on his mother for care and struggling with both physical and emotional burdens. His weight had spiraled out of control due to a combination of overeating and deep-seated psychological struggles, many of which stemmed from a difficult childhood and a strained relationship with his father. Despite these challenges, Shawn was determined to turn his life around. Under the guidance of renowned bariatric surgeon Dr. Nozaradin, he embarked on an intense weight loss program that required him to drastically change his eating habits and develop a more active lifestyle. Through sheer determination and medical intervention, Shawn managed to lose an astounding 400 pounds. This remarkable achievement gave him a glimpse of a future where he could regain his independence and live without the constant physical and emotional pain that had plagued him for so long. However, just as he was making significant progress, Shawn was hit with a series of devastating personal losses that derailed his journey. In 2017, his mother, Renee Biran, who had been his primary caregiver and strongest supporter, passed away. Her death left Shawn utterly heartbroken, as she had been his rock throughout his struggles with weight and mobility issues. Losing her not only took an emotional toll on him, but also left him in a precarious living situation. Later that same year, tragedy struck again when Shawn's apartment was flooded by Hurricane Harvey. The natural disaster destroyed most of his belongings, leaving him with little more than the clothes on his back. Struggling with grief, loss, and an unstable living situation, Shawn found it increasingly difficult to maintain the progress he had worked so hard to achieve. Despite his efforts to continue his weight loss journey, Shawn's health continued to decline. In February 2019, at just 29 years old, he passed away due to complications from an infection. His death was a heartbreaking end to a story that had once seemed so full of promise. Ashley Randall. As one of the youngest participants in the show's inaugural season, Ashley Randall faced a daunting battle against extreme obesity at just 24 years old. Weighing over 600 pounds at the start of her weight loss journey, Ashley was not only struggling with the physical burden of her size, but also dealing with deep emotional and personal challenges. Like many who sought help from Dr. Nozaradin, she carried the weight of past trauma and the psychological struggles that often accompany food addiction. Despite the many obstacles in her way, Ashley showed remarkable dedication to reclaiming her life. She committed to Dr. now's rigorous diet and exercise program, gradually shedding the pounds that had held her back for so long. Her hard work paid off, and she managed to lose an incredible amount of weight, eventually dropping to 265 pounds. This was a major accomplishment, significantly improving her mobility and overall health. Her journey served as an inspiration to many, proving that with determination, even the most overwhelming challenges could be overcome. However, Ashley's success was not enough to protect her from the long-term health consequences of her past struggles with obesity. Over time, she continued to battle a number of serious medical issues. The years of strain on her body had taken a toll, leaving her vulnerable to infections and other complications. Tragically, she developed a severe infection that quickly turned into sepsis, a life-threatening condition in which the body's response to infection leads to widespread organ failure. As her condition deteriorated, doctors placed Ashley on life support in a desperate attempt to save her. Her family remained by her side, hoping for a miracle. But despite medical intervention, her body was unable to recover. On October 2nd, 2021, Ashley was removed from life support and passed away, surrounded by the loved ones who had supported her throughout her journey. Khalisa McMillan. Years of carrying excessive weight had taken a devastating toll on Khalisa McMillan's body, leaving her vulnerable to a range of medical issues. Despite the risks associated with her condition, Khalisa remained determined to regain control over her health and sought the expertise of renowned bariatric surgeon Dr. Nozaradin. Dr. Now recognized that Khalisa's situation was precarious. He was deeply concerned about her overall health and, in particular, suspected that she might have an intestinal blockage, a condition that could prove fatal. However, given her critical state, he proceeded with bariatric surgery, hoping that the procedure would help her achieve the weight loss necessary for long-term survival. Unfortunately, the risks he feared became a devastating reality. In the aftermath of her gastric sleeve surgery, Khalisa began experiencing catastrophic complications. One of the sutures from the procedure failed, causing a severe and life-threatening infection known as sepsis. Sepsis occurs when the body has an extreme response to infection, leading to widespread inflammation and potential organ failure. As her condition deteriorated rapidly, doctors placed Khalisa on a ventilator to help her breathe. For 2.5 weeks, she remained in critical condition, fighting for her life. As her body struggled against the overwhelming infection, doctors made the difficult decision to put Khalisa into a medically induced coma, hoping it would give her the best chance of recovery. However, the damage had already taken its toll. Despite extensive medical intervention, her body was unable to recover from the complications. In September 2020, at the age of 41, Khalisa McMillan tragically passed away due to complications stemming from her surgery. Her untimely death was a heartbreaking reminder of the extreme risks that come with severe obesity and weight loss surgery. Though she had hoped for a second chance at life, fate dealt her a cruel hand. Renee Biran. A former plus-size model, Renee Biran had built a career embracing her size, but over the years her weight became unmanageable and began threatening her health. By the time she joined Season 6 of the show, she was desperate for a change and willing to do whatever it took to regain control of her life. Under the guidance of Dr. Nozaradin, Renee embarked on a grueling weight loss journey, following his strict diet and exercise program. She demonstrated remarkable discipline and commitment, pushing past the challenges that had held her back for so long. Her hard work paid off. She successfully lost over 250 pounds, bringing her weight down to just under 390 pounds. This incredible achievement not only improved her mobility and overall health, but also gave her hope for a brighter future. Renee had dreams of taking her transformation even further. With her significant weight loss, she was eager to undergo skin removal surgery to eliminate the excess skin left behind. This procedure would have marked the next step in her journey toward reclaiming her life. However, just as she was on the cusp of reaching her goal, tragedy struck. In early 2019, Renee was diagnosed with a debilitating autoimmune disorder, a cruel twist of fate that shattered her hopes for further surgery. Her condition made it impossible for her to continue on the path she had envisioned, forcing her to shift her focus from weight loss to simply managing her health. As her illness progressed, Renee's condition worsened, and she was eventually placed in a nursing home, where she received the care she needed. Despite the setbacks, Renee remained surrounded by love. Family and friends stood by her side, offering support and comfort through her struggles. In May 2021, at the age of 56, Renee took her final breath, leaving behind a legacy of resilience and strength. Gina Krasley. Weighing in at over 600 pounds, Gina Krasley struggled to adhere to Dr. Now's strict diet and exercise regimen. Her emotional and psychological battles with food, combined with the physical limitations imposed by her weight, made progress difficult. At times, she found it hard to meet the goals set by Dr. Now, and she initially failed to qualify for bariatric surgery. Despite these setbacks, Gina remained determined to take control of her health. After her appearance on the show, Gina continued to work toward weight loss. She later shared publicly that she had managed to shed an incredible 300 pounds, a testament to her perseverance and commitment to changing her life. Though she was not among the most successful cases on My 600-Pound Life, her progress was significant, and she remained hopeful about her future. Tragically, Gina's story was cut short. On August 1st, 2021, at just 30 years old, she passed away. Her sudden death shocked fans of the show, as she was still relatively young and had been making efforts to improve her health. Her obituary did not list an official cause of death, leaving many to speculate about the factors that may have contributed to her passing. What was clear, however, was that she was surrounded by love in her final moments, with her family by her side. James L.B. Bonner. James L.B. Bonner's struggles with weight gain began after a devastating ATV accident in 2013, which resulted in the amputation of his right leg. The trauma of losing a limb, combined with chronic pain and emotional distress, led him to turn to food for comfort. Over time, his weight spiraled out of control, leaving him nearly immobile and in desperate need of help. Determined to take back control of his life, LB sought guidance from Dr. Nawzaradan and embarked on an intense weight loss journey. Through strict dieting, exercise, and eventually weight loss surgery, he managed to shed more than 300 pounds, regaining his mobility and independence in the process. Throughout his time on the show, LB was known for his positive attitude, sense of humor, and motivation to inspire others struggling with obesity. His social media presence reflected this as well. He frequently posted encouraging messages, updates about his journey, and words of support for those facing similar battles. To many fans, LB was a success story, proving that it was possible to reclaim one's health and happiness. However, beneath the surface, LB was dealing with severe depression. Despite his weight loss, the emotional wounds from his past never fully healed. He struggled with self-worth, personal challenges, and the mental toll of his drastic lifestyle change. Unfortunately, these battles became too overwhelming. On August 2, 2018, police officers conducted a welfare check on LB and discovered him in a ditch near his South Carolina home with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. He was just 30 years old. His sudden death shocked fans, friends, and family, many of whom had no idea of the depth of his internal struggles. Kelly Mason. Kelly Mason's body was failing her, burdened not only by her extreme weight but also by a host of severe medical conditions. She suffered from diabetes, high blood pressure, arthritis, thyroid problems, and a pulmonary embolism. On top of that, she had a blood clot in her leg, a life-threatening complication that put her at an even higher risk of fatal health issues. But despite the overwhelming odds stacked against her, Kelly was determined to turn her life around. Under Dr. Now's strict weight loss program, Kelly demonstrated remarkable commitment. Unlike many patients who struggle to follow his rigorous diet and exercise plan, she took it seriously from the start. Her motivation was clear. She wanted to live. She pushed herself, followed the program diligently, and managed to lose an astounding 324 pounds. This level of weight loss before undergoing surgery was a testament to her dedication and willpower. Kelly's progress gave her hope. She dreamed of reclaiming her life, of being independent, of no longer being confined by her body. She expressed joy and optimism as the weight dropped off, and for the first time in years, she felt like she had a future. She was no longer just surviving, she was fighting to truly live. But just as Kelly was on the brink of a new chapter, tragedy struck. Despite her significant weight loss, the years of strain on her body had already done irreversible damage. Having suffered from congestive heart failure in the past, her heart was weak, and the toll of her previous weight had left lasting effects. On the night before her 42nd birthday, Kelly passed away in her sleep from cardiac arrest. It was a devastating and unexpected loss, one that underscored the cruel reality that sometimes even the strongest efforts come too late to undo years of damage. Matthew Ventris, Destiny Lashi. As the first transgender person to appear on the show, Destiny's story resonated with many viewers, not only for their struggle with extreme obesity, but also for their journey toward self-acceptance and authenticity. Born Matthew Ventris, Destiny had spent years battling depression, trauma, and an unhealthy relationship with food, which led their weight to spiral dangerously close to 700 pounds. When Destiny sought help from Dr. Nawzaradan in 2019, they were in a desperate place, both physically and mentally. Their weight had taken a severe toll on their health, limiting their mobility and threatening their life. But beyond the physical struggles, Destiny was also facing emotional turmoil. They openly shared their struggles with mental health, speaking candidly about depression, anxiety, and the pain of feeling trapped in their own body. Despite these challenges, they remained determined to take control of their life. Under Dr. Now's program, Destiny embarked on a remarkable weight loss journey. They adhered to the strict diet and exercise plan, shedding over 500 pounds, an incredible transformation that not only improved their physical health, but also gave them newfound confidence. Through this process, Destiny was able to fully embrace their identity, becoming a beacon of hope for others facing similar struggles with body image and gender identity. They used their platform to advocate for self-love, body positivity, and mental health awareness, inspiring countless people along the way. However, despite their external transformation, Destiny continued to struggle internally. They remained open about their mental health battles, frequently discussing their depression on social media and in interviews. The pain of past trauma, personal losses, and ongoing emotional struggles weighed heavily on them. Tragically, in February 2022, at the age of 30, Destiny took their own life. Their passing was a devastating loss, not only for their loved ones, but for the many people who had found strength in their story. What do you think about the deaths of all the members of My 600-Pound Life? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.